Hi guys, welcome back to the Bit18, the Watford fan channel. Today we're going to be talking about the one big bit of news coming out of the fans forum last night, and that is plans to change the club badge in the summer of 2020. It's split opinion, more to come on that, but just looking back at the fans forum last night, and what an evening it was for Watford fans gaining insight into the runnings of the club from a player, manager and CEO perspective. The man who basically runs the club, Scott Duxbury, telling us all things from the training ground to stadium expansion to ground developments, the pitch. Everything was covered last night, so it was a real pleasure to be in attendance and really gain an insight into the runnings of the club. One thing I took away from last night is how well we are run as a football club. Gino, who gives Duxbury the authority to basically run the football club, and he does it in a fantastic manner. It has to be commended to him. And there's a real contrast from when they bought the club in June 2012 and until now. The club has progressed massively. We're looking to get ground expansion to 30,000. We're looking to go more global, and that is the reason for the club badge change. So there's a lot of little tweaks and redevelopments that are going on at Watford Football Club, and then there's obviously the big ones like the club badge change, which are going on. So we are in safe hands under Scott Duxbury and Gino Pozzo. I don't want to jinx it, but they've been here for so long now, and they turned the club on its head from administration under Lawrence Bassini, coming in and really just changing the club around into an established Premier League outfit. So a lot of praise has to go to them. But moving on to one of the big debates coming out of the fans forum last night, and that was the club badge situation. Now, to give you a little framework into how it was announced, so the fans forum was split up into segments. So the first 25 minutes was dedicated to global expansion and global branding, etc. And it was highlighted the fact that Watford aren't the highest social media following outside the top six, and the Everton bracket as well. They're kind of in their own mini league, Everton. They're not right at the top six, but they're not really mid-table in terms of social media following. The only clubs we were ahead of were Swansea, Huddersfield, Burnley. So we're not too high up, and the two highest outside the top six are West Ham and Southampton. This was taken from a study last year. And what was also made clear was a real desire to expand the fans that don't come to games and will only watch on TV or abroad and buy into the philosophy of the club. Now, this is achievable through winning trophies, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. But the club wanted to do something that could rebrand and make it a more attractive proposition for fans that aren't affiliated with any clubs to support Watford Football Club. Now, we were shown a video from the American broadcasters with two girls actually who were talking about Watford, and one of the questions was from the girl in this advert or promo ahead of one of the Watford games was, why are they called the Hornets but they have a moose or a heart on their badge? From a business perspective, it makes perfect sense to rebrand the club, and particularly the badge, because there's no correlation between the badge and our nickname, the Hornets. The club reiterated on social media that they are not changing the badge. It's a chance, though, for fans to decide if you want a change or not. You may love it as it is, you may be enthused to change. All opinion will be welcomed, and you will decide. Now, you might have just seen that entry in one that's been floating about on Twitter recently. I think it's a little bit too similar to Brentford, but you get the idea. Fans are going to have a chance to really put their stamp on how they want the badge to be in the future. It's a massive decision in the club's history. You look at the history of the club's badges. We've had numerous over the years, but this is a massive decision for all Watford fans. It'll be a really defining moment. But from a business perspective and from Duxbury's perspective and Gino, they want to increase the value of the football club, and by changing the badge, it really does provide a correlation between the badge and then our nickname, because there's apparently, from what they were telling us, the branding doesn't work abroad. It's effectively an attempt by the club to expand the global brand, revenue streams, awareness of the football club, and as I said, you can see why they're really in favour of that. But on the contrary, tradition is kind of being thrown out the water here. A lot of teams have had their badge changed, and it's been met with a lot of uproar. But actually, would you be in favour of it? I'm not too sure. When the news was revealed last night that there would be a consideration of a change, I was a little bit 50-50. And I said it to Hilda, one of the nicest Watford fans you'll meet, that on the one hand, I think it's brilliant that we're kind of in a new era of the club. We're now a Premier League established club. We're making great strides in the league, and this will be an attempt to make great strides abroad in America, you name it, globally. But at the same time, it loses that a little bit of tradition and loses that little bit of a kind of personal touch, because I love the badge how it is at the minute. But from a branding perspective, you can see why Duxbury, Gino, the hierarchy at the football club want to make a change with the badge. It's been met with a big debate. Do we kind of go into that next era and become more of a franchise, which has been met with a lot of criticism? Or do we stick with what we've got and keep the tradition of being the pride of Hertfordshire and bring that main club in Hertfordshire? I think if we did move on, that would probably go away from that aspect. So I can see why fans are a little bit aggrieved by that. So it really does depend in the coming months how that develops. But one thing's for certain, there is a real effort made by Watford to change the brand and make it bigger globally and get more fans from abroad to support the club. I would love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. My personal opinion is that I think it would be a nice step and to make and mark a new era at the football club, that we are making great strides in the league. But also I do have a bit in the back of my mind thinking, has the tradition been lost at the football club? And we do it by changing the badge, does that get lost? I'm not too sure. I'm a little bit 50-50 at the moment. I think as time goes on and things start to develop, I'll probably have my mind made up. But I'm a little bit 50-50 at the moment. I think it is a good offer and good proposal on the table. But at the same time, as a Watford fan growing up with the same badge, and Shane said it and Hemel said it at the fans forum last night, we don't know anything different. So it would be a massive change at the football club. This is probably one of the most important videos we made. So there are plans to change the badge in the summer of 2020. As I said, let me know down in the comment section below what you make of the proposals. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. We'll do another video on the fans forum very, very shortly. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on post notifications, and we'll see you in the next one.